Good morning. I should say, I almost said good afternoon, but it is still morning. And we want to welcome you to the Cannon County Chamber Connection Show, which focuses on Cannon County and the people and the places and the events that make this a great place to live and do business and work, because I think everybody in Cannon County works, so this is a good thing. But one of these community partners that has always been a great partner for our chamber is DTC Communications. And we thank them for all of the things that they do in our community, and especially to allow us to have this show where we can focus on some of these people that are doing good things in Cannon County. September is a busy month in Cannon County, and I'm working on October right now. And of course, you know, I hate to I don't hate to tell you this. You know, Christmas is knocking on the door, and Halloween has already came in. So we've got to focus ahead of time on those two events, because those are big, and I love Christmas, and I like Halloween, and I don't think of it as a devil worshiping type thing. I think of it as a fun time, because as a kid, I always had fun on Halloween. Trick-or-treating to me was fun, and dressing up, and even when my kids were little, to dress them up, that was a fun time. It wasn't anything more than that. And I still feel the same way about that today.
Have you got your costume?
Yeah, I've got two of them. One of them is Olaf.
Okay. All right.
But he's kind of not popular anymore. So, and then I have a French maid contest.
I'd wear the Olaf. How about you two? Would you think she'd look good in the Olaf? You know, when you go trick or treating,
keep her in the Olaf.
you could go knocking on the door, and people go, "All right, who are you?" That's your chance to explain.
I don't have a French maid costume.
Unless it doesn't topple you over.
I'm just like, what?
The Olaf, it might topple you
No,
over.
it's a pajama is what it is.
Ooh, a onesie. Then that would be the winner right there.
Yeah.
But I don't have the French maid one either. I was just seeing what his response would be.
And it just flew right over my head.
I know, he didn't even react to it at all. Okay, but anyway, Halloween is coming, and right now I'm in the process of working with some ideas that we could come up with in town for Halloween, which I think is a good thing. We do have a street in town that they block off every year, because it just gets bombarded. And I think that's great. I think it is, because the kids enjoy it. And I did take part in the one at the library, which is on this street, College Street, one year, and I was amazed at the people, the adults that dressed up and didn't have any kids with them that came trick-or-treating, but hey.
You know, it's an interesting thought that you brought up about maybe the town doing something for Halloween. I talked to Greg Mitchell last year, county executive, and, you know, for many years, they used to do dress up the square, put some scarecrows around the square.
I was part of that, I do remember.
And I think they want to try to do that again this year. We'll have to, remind them, hey, it's coming up, but I think they'll be open to doing that again this year.
Well, that was good, and we got a lot of comments about that. And one year we made them, the chamber made them, and we put them all over Cannon County. And we found two of them hanging off of Auburntown Bridge.
Oh, no.
So I had to bring them in.
It wasn't an Olaf
And
scarecrow, was it? Okay.
Was it an Olaf and a French maid?
Or a French maid, yeah.
No, they were really cute. They were good. They were good scarecrows, and it took a lot of us a lot of time. We hand painted the faces. They were put on fence posts. We used tobacco sticks for the arms, straw clothes. It was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work. But we did find two of them hanging off of the Auburntown Bridge. So
It's terrible.
We brought them in, and I think Debbie used them down at the old feed store antique mall for her porch, and that was fine. But maybe we can do something like that again.
Yeah, I think
That
we
was a
But you got
fun
to save
thing.
them, right?
Pardon?
You found them, you saved them.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
To
Hey, I
rescue.
worked on those babies. I was going to
She
keep
put
them
them in
around.
scarecrow rescue, you know.
I found a home for them. I don't know what happened to all of
Well, I
those.
feel a little safer in this town, knowing that you're
You're
gonna,
around.
you're here, yes.
So forever hanging off the square, off a bridge somewhere, you'll come rescue us.
Well, there was one that we had complaints about, but I thought it was so cute.
Which one was that? I remember this.
It's the one where it was really, I don't know how she did this to make it look so good. It was a pumpkin, his face was a pumpkin, and he was bent over, but his overalls didn't really fit over his rear end. So they had two pumpkins for his rear end.
I remember that, yeah. The pumpkin moon.
We had people complain about that, and I thought, oh, come on, guys, it's pumpkins. I thought it was really cute, and my grandkids were young, and they were hoping that I was the one that did that. But I can't take credit for it. But it was a cute one. But we had some really good ones, good heavens. I can't even remember all of them that people did, but have a great imagination
Yes,
and
they do.
ability to do that, because those were hung on the poles, the light poles around the courthouse. The ones we made, oh my gosh, they were on metal fence posts, so you could put them anywhere, and they were everywhere. But we could probably do that again. I kind of like that. It was a lot of work,
Yeah.
but it was good.
It's pretty cool to see all the
All
people.
right, we do have some guests with us today, and these are new members of the Chamber of Commerce, and they have opened a business around the square in the building that used to be the Iron Pig, but it is now the Ethereal Elegance Antique and Vintage Emporium, and that's a big name, but this store deserves a big name. So we have with us the owners, Isabel. How do you pronounce your last name?
Cato.
Oh, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. And her mother, who is Jean Hall.
Yes, ma'am.
How did y'all pick Woodbury?
Well, that's kind of an interesting thing. So we weren't working at the moment, and she's an antiquer. She loves to go antiquing and thrifting, and so she kind of get pulled into that. So
I
I
know.
go with her to spend time with her. But then I started falling in love with it. So we would go to different towns, antiquing and thrifting, and spending time together, seeing new parts of the world and parts of the town. But we kept getting pulled to Woodbury. Just kept getting pulled to Woodbury. And one of the big ones was the Willow.
Yes.
We just kept getting pulled into the Willow. So day after day, we'd come out here. And we just started really falling in love with it. And we saw the building up for grabs, and we called about it, and it just kind of all fell into place. And we prayed about it for a long time. But we feel that it's a big honor to be in the Iron Pig building and to also be a part of the Woodbury community.
Oh, well, good. Well, we're glad to have you. You have a great store. You really
you.
do. You have some very well displayed store. You know, when you go in there, it's all right there. You don't really have to dig for anything because you see it all right there. And I like that. Now, some of them, you go in some of our antique stores, they look at it differently. You know, they put as much in there as they can get. And for a small for a small spot, I think it takes talent to display your items and make them look nice. It does, doesn't it?
Takes work.
It does. And I look at it and I think, would I have thought in this small space to bring in this much stuff and put it where you could see it all.
And, you know, we definitely didn't get there by ourselves. We had a vision together in place, and we shared that vision with our wonderful vendors. And our vendors really are the ones that just worked nonstop, especially during the night hours, making their booths and that creativity and that talent. So you can just get a bunch of people together, and it just makes one
Well,
one big space.
that is their, that's something they've always enjoyed doing.
Yes.
My daughter has a booth there, and I never would have thought that she would have gotten into the antiquing and the, but they go to auctions, they go to estate sales, they go to sales, just sales, all the time, getting items.
Yeah, and it's fun, and you actually build relationships. You know, when
Well, you
we're
do.
out go into estate sales, we meet so many different people. We've made friends along the way, and you know, blessed people, and they've blessed us. So it's a lot of
There you
fun.
go. Well, good.
And as far as the vendors go, you know, it takes a lot as a vendor of time and effort and energy to do
does.
what they do. And the fact that a lot of them were willing to trust us, because, you know, this is not something we'd ever done before. And so that trust really has built something strong.
It does.
It's so sweet.
And like I say, my daughter's very complimentary of the way you handle it and everything, so
That means a lot.
this is a good thing. It is, because word gets around. And it is your vendors that when you have an antique store that you sell stuff, I don't guess you'd call it consignment. It's more or less you just get a portion of that because you supply the building and the area and the public and everything. So it does take some trust on everybody's part.
And even
to
the
do that.
items itself, you know, every item's like my daughter was saying the other day, every item has a story,
It does.
you know?
Yeah, I get a lot of sideways heads when I tell people what I do and my age. I'm, you know, fairly young to be interested in, you know, this kind of world. And so, but like just an old soul. And I think what really pulled me into it is just the story.
Yeah.
You can go into a new store and buy something new out of the package, and it doesn't really have any, that's the beginning of its story. But when it's something that's antique or vintage, you know, it could be a platter or silverware or tools, and you can kind of look at it and see like, okay, well, those tools, they were worked so hard at one point, or the serving platter, the spoons, they fed so many mouths. And I think that that's just kind of interesting. Every piece, every item that comes in that store has a story, and you know, I think that's what like the
See?
true heart of an antique store is.
I don't have any, I'm sorry, I don't have any problem buying things out of an antique store, or, you know, that's just like, good heavens, I've lived long enough that, believe me, I don't need anything. But it's not whether I need it or not, it's whether I like it.
Yeah.
And whether it be a craft item or, I have a lot of old stuff around my house. Sometimes I go into antique stores and they have them for sale as antiques, and I thought, I'm still using that. So this is okay. But yes, younger people usually don't see the worth of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're kind of the exception there, isn't it?
What is one of your favorite right now in your shop? What is one of your favorite antiques that maybe one of the vendors is trying to sell right now?
That's hard. What about you?
I'm still stuck
Now
on
remember, you have family that has a bit booth.
I do. Yes, I do. We ourselves also have a booth, and I can proudly say that it's not one of our items. There is this wooden table. It's very small. It's like half the size of this table, and it has 4 chairs around it. And I'm not sure of the year or anything, but you can just look at it and see the story. That's another, it goes back into that. You can see that it was well used, and a lot of conversations went across that table, and stories were shared. And there's just something good about a table where, you know, a family got to sit down and share their day, catch up if it was a friend, play cards, whatever you're doing. So something like a big piece of furniture like that, that's probably my favorite thing.
Right.
And I would agree to that too. I mean, when they first brought it in, that's exactly what we said. We were like, well, this feels like we're just back at home with grandma and fixing to play cards with my grandmother, because that's what we did.
Well, that's all right.
But we have a little new and a little old. We have a little bit of a mix. And
You do.
we have some,
There was one lady that does Halloween
yeah.
decorations, and they're new, but they're very reasonable. And I bought a couple of them. And then I bought the pilgrims that my daughter had in there. And we had a get together over the Memorial Day, and she came out there and I have them up with the rest of my fall things, and she says, "Are those my pilgrims?" And I said, "Yes."
She probably said, why didn't you just ask
It's
me
me.
for them?
I said, when she
I'm
left,
not
I
gonna
said,
do
"That's
that."
Miss Brenda." I said, what is she doing buying those? She could have just asked.
Well, I bought other
The
things that she
support,
just.
yeah.
Just
that's
wait until
okay.
Christmas time.
Yes.
She will go in, if your vendors have Christmas items, she will go in and just run the
Oh, we're
store.
going to love
I
that.
do.
We will love that.
And we will see that during, especially if you got Christmas Village pieces, she does a great thing at
Noted.
the Lions Club with the Christmas
Okay.
Village. You got to come see it.
Oh, I love
You'll
the
probably
Christmas.
recognize a lot of the newer ornaments that she bought, because they can probably come from you guys.
We will put that on our highly requested list. We also have baked goods. So we have a sweet little girl who's a mother, and she bakes chocolate chip cookies and fresh bread.
And you also had a lady that came to your grand opening that did, I forget what she calls it, permanent jewelry.
Yes.
And I was thinking, okay, this is a tattoo. A little old
She's
for
not
that.
one of our vendors, but I guess now she's a friend of ours who does it. And if, in the larger events, she will be there.
But she'll be set up for the car show in front of your
She will
building,
not
right?
be there for the car show.
Oh,
That
oh.
is, she had some family stuff come up, so we've rescheduled. It's the first Saturday in October, she'll be there.
Okay.
So that's
But
exciting.
they're super cute.
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
they are. My daughter bought one and they're very pretty, but when it said permanent jewelry, I thought, okay, she's gonna tattoo something on my arm.
I was very skeptical about it at first,
Yeah,
too.
permanent jewelry sounds like permanent as in tattoos or
Right.
Yeah.
piercings,
Yes.
Well, they-
jewelry piercings.
Yeah.
They
she-
weld it on, so like
Yes.
you go to the doctor to get, a scan or something, or an x-ray or whatnot, like,
Can't
you
s-
have to take it off. You can't take them off.
The
So you're
bum.
stuck with it.
Oh, it doesn't have a class.
It doesn't
Nope.
have a class.
It's
She
like,
solders them on.
So what do
she
you
puts the
do?
bracelet around you. and
Well, I
then
had a
just-
procedure done a couple months ago, and I was afraid that they were going to have to take them off, and I didn't want that, or I wouldn't have my procedure. And so they were very kind, and they put tape around them.
Oh,
So
okay.
they didn't have to take them off.
Okay, good.
But we'll have lemonade,
Yes.
homemade squeezed fresh
That's fine,
lemonade
honey.
at the car show.
That'll be
and
fine.
the car show, we're going to have our popcorn.
That will be probably the main seller right there. It's the popcorn.
We're doing that complimentary.
Yep, that'll be
so
free.
You set the
Oh,
stop by,
golly,
get some
you
free
you
popcorn.
don't know what you're asking for there, guys.
And then we also have cake pops that we sell in our shop, and I think she's going to be there that weekend giving out some samples.
All right,
Yeah.
well, golly.
So we just have a lot
So
going on.
popcorn.
We have,
Popcorn's
Yeah,
coming.
like
All right, so we got the popcorn.
big machines that
Yes.
you scoop out of.
Oh, yeah.
We have one of those, so it puts off a lot of
Do you have
popcorn.
the salt that goes along with it?
I have everything.
Yeah.
I'm a popcorn girl.
I've got to get with you and find out what salt people use, because you go to ball games and ask, they can't tell you, or they won't tell you.
yes.
I'm like, can I at least see the box? No.
A
You
popped
know?
bag, like that you buy in the individually
Right,
wrapped ones,
yeah.
awful.
No,
Awful.
no. I got to
Movie
have it
theater
right out of that
popcorn only.
popcorn machine.
Do you have a favorite?
I looked over at my girlfriend and I said, you know what we need to do? We need to buy a popcorn machine.
It's worth it.
Do you have a favorite flavor?
No, I like the
Because they have all
regular
kinds
with
of
the-
flavors now.
with
Dill
the
pickle
salt.
and
Yeah.
ketchup.
I
and
know.
No,
I'm
I'll do
just
hot popcorn.
Hot popcorn.
Hot,
Okay.
you know, the spicy hot, where
Yeah.
they take the ramen noodle,
Mm-hmm.
spicy hot stuff and
Oh,
pour it
whoa.
over seasoning.
Yeah, that's good.
Well,
That sounds
maybe they
good.
don't do it, but I did it, you know. That's what I used to go to the store for. I'd buy like packs of the ramen noodles for like 10 cents, you know?
Yeah.
And take the packs out and put it over popcorn, man. That's good stuff.
I wouldn't have thought, but that works.
Yeah.
But yes, free popcorn, and then we have some stuff planned for the later events in the fall and the winter that we're super excited about, so.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for our Christmas open house, right?
Yes. So
Are you going to have the Grinch at your
we
open
sure
house?
will, and
See, told you. I kind of figured. I was thinking.
It was supposed to be a secret.
Well, the
You
thing
weren't
about it
supposed
is,
to tell
he's got to
that.
come down from Short Mountain, you know, how in the movie he comes
Oh,
down from
okay.
the mountain. Oh, well, I've taken it upon myself to be voluntold to be Cindy Lou Who, so we'll see how that goes.
hey, that'll be pretty
Well,
cool.
we need a
And you know,
Cindy
the thing
Lou
about it was is that, you know, predecessors in that building before you, they always had the Grinch.
Really?
Or right
Oh,
next
I did not
door.
know that.
You know, they had
It
that
was
one
the
next
one
door.
next door.
It was a barber
Okay.
shop at one point in time.
Funny enough, it
And
is-
he,
And they had him sitting on the roof one time.
Oh,
You know, you'd just be, I didn't even know he was there, and we were out on the square, and this little kid kept going. And I looked up there, and there was a Grinch sitting up there, so.
Everybody loves the Grinch.
it's
Yeah.
my all-time favorite movie, so I was like, hopefully nobody else does something like that. We were kind of toggling back and forth between like doing it, you know, or not, because there's.
No,
Santa's
that's a
gonna be
good thing.
there,
That's a
and
good thing.
I like
exciting.
that because this is mainly an outside event, you know, we'll have,
we used to
Kids
have
all
2 or
over the
3
square.
Grinches, but one of them graduated high school and graduated college and actually now likes Christmas instead, you know, and it didn't take Linda Lou or whatever the kid's name was to,
Yeah,
you know,
to
make him change
convince
his
him.
mind. And then the other one, they had a Grinch that was at a consignment boutique
Mm-hmm.
shop. And he's no longer, I mean, they're still around, but he no longer comes to those.
Well, he'll
And
be
so
there.
you might be the
So will
solo
Cindy Lou.
Grinch
All
right there.
right.
well, I
We're
really
excited.
only want one Grinch, to tell you the truth. That's like having 4 or
Santa
5
Claus,
Santas, you can't do that.
Yeah, that gets confusing.
We got Santa,
There you go.
and he comes every year down here, so. All right, girls, is there anything else you want to tell us?
We might want to tell them where it's located at.
Well, that would help.
What's your address?
It is 103 North Cannon Street in the old Iron Pig building. It's the right half of the building.
Right, and it's right around the square, you can't miss it.
And we're open
And-
7 days a week.
Yep.
Yes,
Monday through Friday, we're open 10 to 5, and Saturdays 10 to 4, and Sundays
1 to 5.
1 to 5.
well, there you
So
go.
we are there all the time.
You go.
You will
It's just
see these
us two.
faces.
It's just us two, so
You beat
we'll
some of
always-
the restaurants around town. Tell
We
you.
like to go big.
7 days, good
Yeah.
deal.
Well, you don't want to burn yourself out, but there are people that after church, they will go eat and they will go shop
Yes.
if you're open.
Yep, we're there.
That's true. Well, that's great, and I'm so glad to have you. These ladies are great to work with. They're very interested. Right now, they're gung-ho for this, and I like that. So we have some other ones. We have a lot of antique stores, and we have 3 and maybe 4. I'm not sure what all she has in her shop, but we have 3 that I know of right around the square. And then, of course, we've got one in Bradeville, and we have one in, Gazaway has one too. So if you're looking for antiques, you can make a day of it right here.
I think that's one thing we love about the community is because you can come to one place and do all that shopping and grab some lunch for the day.
And we have people that want to do that.
Yes.
If they come to a place, they want to go to more than one. And if you've got more than one, they'll go.
If it's in walking distance for me, that's even better.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, honey. And who knows what else will pop up before Christmas time, because we always celebrate our Cannon Country Christmas the week before Thanksgiving. And I know everybody says, why so early? Because the merchants started that 25 years ago, no longer than that. They started that probably 30 years ago. And that was the time they picked, because if you wait any later, everybody else is doing theirs. So you have a lot more competition. But I already see Christmas items out. They're kind of on the back shelf from the Halloween, but I see them. They're coming.
And other communities have started to do theirs earlier too.
They
by the
do.
way. Sure
They
have.
do. They sure do. So we want to be right there And usually the people that come to it have a really good time. And they always tell me, I wish they could do this in our town. And so this is a good thing for us. All right, ladies, I thank you for
Yes,
coming.
thank you for having us. We're excited. You have to come back and see us.
Well, I will, you
Find some
know
more-
I will. I
find some
got
more fall
family in there
decor.
too.
Yeah.
I got family in there too, so.
Well, we appreciate you.
All
guys.
right, well, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
On your way out, if you see Beth in there, you can tell her, come on in here. She's gonna talk next.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Mr. Keith.
Okay, we'll see you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Okay. We are going to talk about some other things and these are happening in September. And I know that this show will probably be up sometime next week, but we have some things that I can't just dismiss. And I've got a lady coming in here right now that's going to talk to you about the Art Center, which is always a center of attention for Cannon County. Lots of activities at the Art Center always. And one of the big ones they've got coming up is the White Oak Craft Fair. And this is Beth McQuarrie, and she's going to tell you all about it.
All right. Well, we have our 34th annual White Oak Craft Fair coming up. It's September 14th and 15th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. On Saturday, it is 9 to 5, and on Sunday, it's 10 to 4. And we have about 76 artisans, excuse me, coming. It's a juried fair, which means there's a panel that meets and decides whether those pieces can go in the fair or not. We have food trucks, and we have in the hall here where we're taping, we have Sue Williams, our master basket maker. We're going to have, she shows you the baskets like from cutting down the tree all the way to a finished basket and does some demoing. We will have some quilt makers. We will have a weaver and a spinner in here also. And outside on the porch, we will probably have, she hasn't confirmed yet, but Amy Potter will be throwing a pottery wheel. We also have music. We added live music last year for the first time, and we will have that again. We have, let's see, the Jake Leg Stompers coming, Robin Taylor, the Farmer, and Adele. Isn't that it's a cute name?
It is.
And the Mudbug Stompers.
So you got a lot of stomping going on.
Yes, we do. Well, it's a bluegrassy heritage
It
type
is.
Yeah,
fair,
yeah.
craft fair, so we
It
kind of try to
is.
keep it in that theme, like traditional music and
Right.
traditional
People
items and
like
stuff.
that.
They do,
They do.
and the fair itself is the craft fair itself is free to get in, but there is a $5 parking charge. The Cannon County Rescue Squad is actually doing our parking,
And
so
if
that all
you,
goes to them.
if you wonder why you need parkers,
Oh, you have
if
to
you've
have
ever
parkers.
come to this fair, you will know why you need them. Otherwise, it's just bedlam if we don't have someone
It gets
in
very
charge.
chaotic, yes.
Yeah.
Imagine
So-
your high school graduation and the parking that you had to go there and parking that had to go there. Just imagine that 10 times over, and that's what you got here.
And these guys are professionals. They know
They'll also
they
have
know
a-
how to do it.
If
Yeah,
they
they'll
could
also
dig
have
you out
first
of a
aid.
ditch, they can sure park you, right? Yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
and they have a little first aid tent set up there too.
And
so-
that's a good thing too.
But yeah, we go in and out the same entrance, so it can get a little crazy if you don't have people managing that. But all the money that if you give them a donation, everything goes to them for the parking, so.
And they are volunteer. Our
They are all
rescue squad
volunteer.
is all volunteers.
So it's a good cause, it really
It
is.
is.
Let's see, the craft fair is, I will have to say, this is sponsored by White Oak, Tennessee, who actually runs it, which they are a nonprofit that's here in this building. The Arts Center of Cannon County, the Arts Commission, Tennessee Arts Commission, DTC, Greg Goff, Realtor, Renewal by Anderson, and Short Mountain Cultures.
Well, there you
They're all
go.
our sponsors this year.
And we might remind them that next door, well, attached to the Art Center, is Short Mountain Cultures. And that is a little store that has everything, really. It has some craft items. It has some, when I say craft items, I mean these are things that people have made and bring in. You know, they have
Artists,
some
they're artists,
baskets.
yeah.
Lots of food items like sauerkraut.
They make fermented products.
Right.
But they have like little grocery items also.
Homemade bread,
They make homemade bread.
cookies.
Yeah, they have some good bakery products also. We also, before I forget, have a kids tent, which we do have some activities for them. We will post them. But we have 3 artists that are going to have set up in the kids tent for like an hour at different times. And one of them is a bookmaker, one's a potter, and one's a painter. And then in between those, we will have activities for the kids. There'll be somebody down there they can color. We have a little bead making thing, so that'll be for a little bit older kids. But there'll be some activities for younger ones also.
Well, that's
It's
good.
down by the music down there.
Right, and that's always good. The kids like to be included, and they like to do all that stuff. They like doing painting and drawing pictures and coloring and all that stuff. And what else? Now, that's on the 14th and the 15th.
Correct.
And last year, the weather did not play nice.
It was better than the year before, but yes, it is. The year before was bad. But we're hoping to have nice weather. Hopefully it'll stay a little bit cooler like it
Right.
is right now. And no rain.
And no rain.
That's what we
That's the
hope for.
problem.
That's always a problem with an outdoor event. And
And you've got to remember, the people that will be set up for this are artisans. You're not going to find any tables of socks and
no,
all
it's a
that
great
kind of
place to
stuff.
come and buy a one-of-a-kind item for like Christmas present, birthday, even for yourself. There's things here you won't see anywhere else. And a lot of these people, they make their living
doing
doing this. Some don't, but
We have a
many do.
blacksmith. I always get something from the blacksmith.
Yeah, we have a guy that makes stuff out of copper. We have a lot of jewelers. We have potters. We have woodworkers. We have a knife maker. Let's see if
We
there's
have a
anything else.
gourd.
Yeah, someone who does stuff with gourds. We have I'm trying to think of what else is on here. Ironworks, baskets, rocking chairs. We have the rocking chair guy. Ceramics, metalwork, wood carving, jewelry, textiles, stained glass. Randy McCurdy does stained glass. It's really pretty. And many of the artisans are on the river, so it's a really nice little walk down there. It's cool. Even if it's hot, it's cool down there. But it's a nice view. It's just a nice, if the weather's pretty, it's a really nice way to spend an afternoon.
It is.
It really is.
Plus, you see some great things.
You do, and I was going to mention in here, I forgot to mention the names, but I said, like, Sue Williams will be where we are right now, but the B group is the one who's doing the quilting. It's BEE group.
Okay.
And it's spinning with Joe Tidball, which she's come in here and shown us some stuff before, and it's really neat. And weaving with Twyla Lambert.
Okay.
So there's stuff to do. Even if you have little ones, bring them.
We'll
they'll
put
have
them in
activities.
the tent and they can color.
They'll have something to do also.
Yeah, they will.
But after that, we have, if you want me to continue,
Oh, I do?
Little Shop of Horrors is starting October 4th through the 19th. And after that is Guys and Dolls, November 8th through the 23rd. Both of those are musicals, and they're going to be great. And then at Christmas time, we have Elf Jr. There'll be 2 public performances of that, and that means they're going to be 18 and under that are in it. We have auditions for that actually coming up really soon. So,
And the other thing about, you've got next year's program right
yes,
there.
Right.
A great Christmas present
It is a good Christmas present.
for someone
$80,
who
you get
likes the shows.
You get 6 shows, and they pick their seats where they want to sit for each show. They can sit in the same place for each show if they want. But it's not a bad price. It is a savings. And it does make a good Christmas present because they get 6 chances to go do something all year.
That's right. Pays all
It gives
year
them a date
long,
night,
don't
you
it?
know, 6 times a year, so.
And then you've got the gift shop.
We do.
That is inside the Art Center. And that's open anytime the Art Center is open.
That's correct.
And they have a lot of these items that are on display every day in the gift shop.
Yes.
And we do have people that come in and shop for that one-of-a-kind gift that you can give someone who has everything. Because I'll guarantee you, there's something in here they don't have. And we have a large selection of, I say we because my office is in the Art Center. I'm really with the chamber. The Art Center is separate, but because I'm there, I always refer to it as we. But there's a whole collection of books, and many of them are written by a local lady about Cannon County and everything that has to go with it, and they're very interesting. So you might, if you know somebody that is that has lived in Cannon County that might be interested in the history of it or know some of the history of it, that would be a great gift too.
Yeah, several of the people that are in the gift shop are also in White Oak.
Right.
I would say, not near all of them, but there are some that don't put anything in the
We have
gift
some
shop.
great jewelry in there, candles, soap,
Oh, the
and
candles
it's
are
all
great.
made.
Yeah, the candles are wonderful.
Okay, anything else for this year, or are you already planning ahead for next year, Beth?
Yeah, we do have concerts planned out for next year. I believe the first one is in January. It's a Johnny Cash tribute. I don't know the exact dates off the top of my head, but we have concerts set up. I think we have 6 set up for next year, so those will be posted. If anytime you can go online to arts, ARTS, centerofcc.com, and go under buy tickets, and you can see everything that is offered, because as soon as we know we're having it, we put it up for sale. So concerts are on there, all these shows are on there, even if you want to buy them individually. We have Alice by Heart, which is that's actually a brand new musical. People are only allowed to do it until June of next year, so we're opening with that. We have Oklahoma, Newsies, Sweeney Todd, Mousetrap, which is a great Agatha Christie. And then $1 Million Quartet Christmas, which that'll be a big favorite. Because we did $1 Million Quartet a few years ago, and people loved it. And
Yeah.
this is the Christmas version.
Okay.
It's fairly new also.
Well, that sounds really good. And really, for the ones that I've been to, I haven't ever been to a bad one here. And I have people tell me the same thing. You know, when they've gone to any of the plays or the music, especially the concerts, because those tribute bands sound just like the real thing. They really do. And of course, you've just finished. No, you've got one more, but it's this weekend. But you've had some really good ones
Yeah,
this
we
year.
do have one this
so
weekend. We have had some good ones, yeah.
They're all good.
Yeah, and if you have little ones, pay attention to our school matinee series. School groups come to these. We have 3 every school year, and like I said, Elf Junior is this around Christmas time. Then we have Sherlock Holmes, The Mystery of the Crown Jewel in February. That sounds good, doesn't it? And Charlotte's Web in April. And if you have little ones that are interested in being in shows, they can audition for it. Well, they can audition for anything if there's a younger, age group in there. But the kids shows, we always use children.
And then, of course, next year, after school's out, you'll have the conservatories.
Yes, next summer.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, our summers are crazy busy.
They have been this
And we'll
year.
probably have another show in here next summer, like we did this year. We did Still
Okay.
Magnolias right here, so we'll probably
And
do that again.
everybody was crazy about that one.
Yeah, so summers
It
are
was.
busy.
Okay, Beth, you're welcome to stay with us if you want to, or if you need to get back, it's up to you.
Well, I kind of need to get back if that's okay.
Oh, well, that's
Unless you want me
fine.
to chit-chat with you some more.
No, and you've told everything, well, you
I've told
can
everything I know.
chit-chat.
All right,
Now-
well, thank you.
I'm
We
sorry.
got plenty of
Keith,
time
go
to
ahead.
chit-chat, about 17 more minutes, so.
17 more minutes? Okay.
we got
Well,
started.
I don't know, I've got some
Yeah, we've
things
got some
here.
things, so, yeah.
All right.
so.
September 14th is going to be the FFA tractor pull. That's always a popular event for Cannon County. And it will be at the fairgrounds. And the pull begins at 6 p.m. Now, I think last year weather was a big issue with them and they couldn't go on because when it's mud, you can't have a tractor pull. So we got that going on the 14th, and then the 21st, we like to give a plug to our smaller communities outside of, in the outskirts of Cannon County. And Gazaway is having their community fish fry, and it will be from 4 to 7 in Gazaway. And then close to my heart all year long is the Color of Fall Car and Truck Show. And of course, that will be September 28th. It will be on the square. Registration begins at 8 a.m. and ends at 12 noon. Now that's if you want to be judged. You have to register between 8 and 12. And it's $20 per vehicle. But even if you don't want to be judged, you can still come in, but you got to pay the $20. So if you don't want to be judged, all you have to do is tell us, but it's still going to cost $20. And then, well, the major sponsors for this show are B&P Printers, the Cannon Courier, Middle Tennessee Electric, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and they are also a big sponsor for our cruise-ins. But Century 21 Wright Realty, they're new this year, and the realtor for them is Robert Bohall. And I will say that DTC, of course, is our major sponsor for the cruise-ins, which we had our last cruise-in in August for this year. And the car show in September will end it up, and there is a rain date for the car show, and that will be on the 5th of October. So if rain, that's one of those things I can't just let go if it doesn't happen. We will have 74 trophies and 6 cash prizes. And they will be awarded as soon as the judging is complete. And we encourage you to come and shop around the square or in Cannon County at any of our businesses, because I have to say, most of them are sponsors of this car show. And we do appreciate it every year that they come forth. And I do have brochures for the car show, and they will be in the Courier probably next week. But if you would like one, and I haven't sent you one, please call the chamber office at 615-563-2222, and I'll be glad to get one out to you, because we enjoy car clubs. Anybody interested, please let us know. And then October 12th will be the 2nd annual Short Mountain Volunteer Fire Department benefit motorcycle ride. Every year I get requests to do a motorcycle show. So motorcycles are a little different from the car show. So these people are putting on the destination ride, and they will leave the courthouse about 10 a.m. in the morning on October 12th, and they'll return about 3:30. But the volunteer fire department is putting this on And there will be vendors that will be around the square all day. They're going to have raffles and give away prizes and so much more that will be going on. So even when the motorcyclists are not there, there'll still be events going on around the courthouse. And I'm working on a couple of more things for October, which I'll have to let you know about next month. What do you got?
Well, speaking of Short Mountain, on September the 15th from 2 to 6, they're going to have at the Ryan Revelry Restaurant and Venue, 180 Mountain Spirits Lane on the Short Mountain Distillery campus there. They're having a road show, and they're going to give door prizes, 50/50 tickets, trophies away. There's all kinds of sponsors, and this is going to start up, like I said, from 2 to 6. The day will start. The restaurant will open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and you can take a tour of the distillery itself from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that is coming up on the weekend of the 14th, which that's next weekend for us taping this. And boy, there's a lot of stuff going on the 14th, isn't there?
Yes.
Cannon County Youth Football will be opening their home season. They only have 2 home dates. September the 14th, they're going to start at 4:30 in the afternoon. There's only 2 youth football teams this year. There's a flag team and a youth junior team. They did not have enough children to come out, 5th and 6th graders to come out and participate to make a senior team. So there's only two. They're getting their season started this week, but next week will be a home game. And I know a lot of people, well, we don't have anything like this here. So several people are going over to Rutherford County and making their plans from Cannon County to participate in this next thing I've got. I think we need to look into, and some people that are going agree with me, to look into doing something like this. There is a walk to end Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's Awareness Week is in October. And many communities, Tullahoma has a big one. Tullahoma is a big Alzheimer's organization. Murfreesboro is having one now, and several of Cannon County residents are going over to participate in that walk. November the 2nd, it's going to be at the Hayes Soccer Complex on the campus of MTSU, starting at 8 a.m., and that's on November 2nd. So mark that on your calendar. You can look it up through Facebook, Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's a national organization, or you can even go through the Tullahoma Lynchburg Facebook page, and they'll have this event on there and whatnot. So
I believe we've had one of those in the past. Well, we've had more than one, but it wasn't for Alzheimer's. It was for cancer.
Yeah, Cannon County Cancer, American Cancer Society chapter. Which I don't know. Do we still have that chapter? We do. It's not a whole lot of.
No, we don't. We haven't had that relay in several years now.
I remember when Lois Larimer,
right.
She's passed away now, but she coordinated all that and did a great job
sure
with
did.
it. So the 27th of September, the Cannon County Senior Center, which is located right off of Lehman Street, is going to be holding a yard sale fundraiser on Friday the 27th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you're still in the mood to yard sale in late September, that's a place to go. You'll probably find you some neat, interesting items, maybe some antiques. I don't know. But
Well, they have a lot of crafters up there, ladies, that can make a lot of things at that. I don't know if they'll have them in the yard sale, but if you like yard sales, then that's a place you need to go.
And another big thing, and maybe we can get, maybe we can get Deborah on the show next month. But another big thing that they're doing in October is it's a really big thing that they do every year, is they hold their annual health fair, and that's going to be October the 18th, and they've got vendors and stuff. I'm not for sure, and I have to try to flip through these pages to find this. This is actually not in Cannon County, but it is a car show that I think is very worthy. I don't know if you heard about this or not, but in Cookeville, this officer stopped a car, and two men got out and shot him and killed him.
I did
And,
hear about
They are
that.
putting together in October or November a car show in Cookville in his memory to raise money for his family and whatnot. It's called the Cawthorn Car Show, and I've got two different stacks of papers to look through and see if we can find this, because I didn't have a way to mark it. But at any rate, they're having that car show in Cookville at the fairgrounds out there. And I'll have to get a date, and I think it's like later October or early November, and we can tell people about it. Or I myself have a website, and I'll go ahead and give it to you. It's called readyontheradio.com. And just yesterday, I built the rest of my car show page, which features us, by the way.
Well, good.
And that was a marketing tool that we could use for our Color Fall Car Show and a couple other car shows that I'm doing. But it has the information on there about it. So if you want to go look up the website and then find the page, Middle Tennessee Area Car Shows, and that'll be one of the car shows on there. It's, just scroll down and you'll find it and whatnot. And of course I can't find it, or else watch when I get out of here, it'll be the first thing that pops up. But at any rate, that is
Well,
what it is.
that's in October, right?
Yeah, it's in October.
Okay, we'll be able to tell you about that, because
Oh.
I think I have some other things for October,
One other thing
too.
we need to tell them, because we've had these guests here today. See if I've got it. I had it. Well, good grief, what happened to it? Let's see. We'll look it up real quick here, because I know where it's at. All right, October the 12th. It's Quilt Day, October the 12th. That's on a Saturday.
I know where this is going to be.
And the Social Event Center, which is a new center right beside, can you say the name again, Ethereal Elegance, is right next door to it. Willow 210 Vintage Market is going to have their second annual quilt sale. And that's going to be October the 12th at the Social Event venue located at 105 North Cannon Street in Woodbury. And I believe when we had Cindy on last month, that this was the event that she was saying, hey, we've already got one booked. Might have
She
been.
does, and I will say this, I don't think this has been out there, but right next to the Iron Pig was a big store, so they cut it in half. And half of it is going to be an event space. So if you're having a birthday party, an anniversary, something that a get-together for whatever reason, you can call Cindy at the Willow, and she will give you all the details on how to rent that building. And I think that is something that is needed in Cannon County, and we will have more about that next month too. But by all means, give me a call, and I can give you a number on how to get in touch with her if you have something that you want to have a get-together. I think they can hold up to 80 people.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Good size for a wedding or a reception. Or,
It is. And they have some kitchen available, not in the way of a stove, but the way of warming ovens and refrigeration and everything. So that's a good area. And they have the tables and the chairs, and you can decorate and do all that. Okay, do you have anything else, Keith?
That's all I've got.
Then I'm going to call it a wrap for this month. And we will see you next month with, I'm sure, more events.